my question is, if Hamas called itself the Islamic Justice Movement, would Trudeau believe Hamas? If ISIS called itself ISIS for Justice, would Trudeau believe ISIS? I mean, he's choosing to give a cover of activism. It can be a misplaced sense of wokeness, but I believe there's something else going on here. And I think also I need a comment from you on the way he's cornered himself at yesterday's briefing.
Well, I'd like to say, Arnab, that you're quite right. He has cornered himself on multiple fronts. And may I point out that the target is not so much India as it is, let's complete the sentence, India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I mean, the person who is working very hard with Western countries to have a secure Indo-Pacific. Now, what Justin Trudeau is basically saying, India, trust us. You outsource our security to us. Now, he's saying it's criminal for Indian agencies to look into individuals and groups in Canada who are wandering around unmolested, who are collecting funds in an unmolested manner, who are transmitting those funds to locations in India, often via Hawala route. In other words, through illegal channels. And all this is there on plain record. Frankly, a high school student who has experience with the internet can locate this data. And the common thread running through all these people who are demonizing India, they are all opposed to a person called Narendra Modi. Now, Justin Trudeau, I mean, he's made remarks which are clearly personal. Now, for example, I have my differences about, Benjamin Netanyahu. But the fact of the matter is, his country was brutally attacked by a terror group, by two terror groups, as a matter of fact, and they have been supported by another country, which is in turn supported by a much bigger country. And frankly, the response that he gave was to ensure that this kind of a group will not raise its head again. And I think that is a normal response, if you ask me. So I'm not going to allow my personal feelings about Netanyahu and some of the mistakes he's made, such as releasing multiple hostages for one. But the point is, how can you call it criminal when a country is investigating terror activities in the soil of another country on itself? In the sense, India is investigating terror activities which are germinating in Canadian soil. Obviously, we would like to ensure that they don't end up like Kanishka, that hundreds of people don't die. And that is why India is doing it. The FBI is doing it. The MI5 is doing it.
The other aspect also,
democracy is doing
there's
it.
There's other aspect also which I wanted to bring into the debate is the choice of words and the way he was speaking yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Daniel, and Anis, you saw it, but Abhijit, there was one point where he said that, see, I had this bombshell with me. I went to New Delhi. New Delhi is hosting this huge, G20 summit, a very, very big global event, and I could have wrecked it. He said, I could have wrecked it. He's speaking like some kind of a gangster language himself. This is not the way a prime minister speaks. And then he says, I met Prime Minister Modi and I told him about my concerns, and Prime Minister Modi complained about people who are on Canadian soil who are outspoken. Now, fact is, Daniel and Abhijit, we have no problem with outspoken people. In fact, you should see, Daniel and Anis, we did a sting operation on Republic a few years back, where we have the same people who are sharing stage with Trudeau every day. You can do a whole article on it. There is one person who's on stage with Trudeau. Trudeau celebrates him, shakes hands with him everywhere, who is on record in the sting operation, telling our reporter, this was shot at in London, that we have killed 2,700 Indian policemen, we have killed politicians, we have to kill more politicians, we have to kill more policemen, violence is the only way. And this person is bandied about as some kind of an activist in cozy photographs with Trudeau. Now, this sting operation was many years back. We have no problem. We have no problem with people being outspoken. And there is no verifiable truth to what he has said. My information is that Narendra Modi made it very clear to him that you are constantly advocating assassinations, killing, and questioning the sovereignty of India, which is the problem. It's not a freedom of expression argument, Abhijit. But he twisted it. He just twisted it.